Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nokulunga I, your host, and today is story time. Okay, I think the lighting's better this side, so I'll just try and get comfy right here. So today I'll be telling you a story about a guy who used to check my vagina. Now, I had totally forgotten about this story until a few days ago. I'm chatting to my boyfriend and I'm like, hey babes, you know what? I actually dated this guy very briefly, maybe for a month. And this guy used to check my vagina every time I went out. Now, so what happened was I was seeing this guy, temporarily. Ooh, I'll sip on that. But the reason I was seeing him temporarily is because he used to check my vagina. So I'm one of those people who, I like going out, I like dancing, but I don't like going out with friends. And that's because I feel like I have to mother everyone and parent them, make sure they have their phones, make sure they don't just go home with anyone and that kind of stuff. So often what I would do is I would get dressed, I'd go out, and then then I'd mingle with whoever's there that I want to mingle with at the club. And then when I'm ready to leave, I just, pack my stuff and, just call an Uber or a cab and so forth. So this probably happened in 2014. Yeah. I think it happened in 2014 or 2015, round about there, because that's when I used to go out quite a bit. At least now I'm a bit chilled. I don't go out as often. So I date this guy. We're in a long distance relationship. He's obviously uncomfortable with me going out, but there's nothing he can do about it because I'm a grown up and I make my own decisions. So I remember it started off this one night. I would go out and be like, I'll come back in the morning at 7. I'm one of those girls. I'm just like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it right. So like by the time Segvalo and they're like, okay, no, go now, and I'm like, man, but DJ, so for me the DJ is my drug. As long as the DJ is pumping, honey, you best believe I'll be hitting the pianos right there, doing my thing. Anyway, so obviously this behavior was concerning to someone who's a boyfriend and someone who's far away, who can't go out with me and stuff like that. So the first day he says to me, I'm like, hey honey, I'm back. He's like, oh my God, can I call you? I'm like, sure babe, why not? He video calls me. Fine, we talk on the phone. Hey babe, how you doing? How was the night? Oh, you safe? Thank God you safe. Why did you come back so late? Yada yada. And I had to explain that the DJ was just pumping the music, and as long as the DJ is pumping, like, I'm moving. So fast forward, he says to me, oh, let me see what you're wearing. And I'm like, okay, you're trying to be sexy. Like, okay, I'm wearing this, I'm wearing that. And you're like moving the camera. And then he says, okay, take it off. I want to see you. I'm like, okay. And it's fun. Like, those of you who've been in long distance relationships or relationships where you have to video call your partner quite often, like it's fun because it keeps things interesting because they're not here for you to do these things. So fine, I do it. Eventually I go into the bathroom with my phone, he can see me and it's okay. Hey guys, second time it happens, right? I'm like, okay. Third time it happens, and the third time he was very explicit. He's like, let me see it. I want to see if you didn't give my stuff away. Did he just say, who am I? Am I not a grown-up? Am I not able to determine whether I want to give my stuff up or not? 2, brother, when did it become your stuff? Because last I checked, it was my stuff. It was on me. It goes around with me everywhere I go. I choose who to give it to or not. So I just felt like, at first you're like, oh, he's being jealous and it's cute. But when you sit down and you're like, no man, actually this guy just almost did what virginity testers do. He just checked my vagina. Now look guys, I'm Zulu, right? I'm Zulu, and I come from a semi-traditional family, but not even once has my family said to me, Kumula uveze sifuna ukubona if it's still intact. Not even once has my family asked me to take a virginity test or anything like that. So who is this brother that I just met on the streets that is now asking me to have a whole vagina check for him just because he's insecure? Aibo guys, you? Needless be said, that relationship didn't last long. I made sure I took an executive decision. Listen, ladies, you have the power. You can take an executive decision right now, honey. Right now, you can take an executive decision and be like, Yazuktin, no. Time out. In fact, time out sounds like it's temporary. More like I'm gone and I ain't coming back. So that's exactly what I did. I ended the relationship, and I just felt very invasive what he did. And it felt like, when somebody sexually violates you without actually you being aware that this person is sexually violating you, that's how I felt. Now, if I wasn't woke or, conscious later on of what happened, I would have stayed in the relationship, and I would have actually felt controlled, and I would have felt possibly undermined, in the relationship. The fact that this person didn't think I can make my own decisions in terms of whether I'm going to sleep with a stranger or not, or sleep with anyone else outside of our relationship. I just felt like that was disrespectful. And there was no way whatsoever that I was going to allow that. So let me know what you think, guys. Have you ever had a guy that, have you ever been with a guy that, requested to see your stuff every time you went out? Or like a guy who wanted to have sex with you that night just because you went out? Or a guy who'll insist that you sleep over at his place every time you go out just so that he can know where you slept? Has that ever happened to you? Please let me know. I want to hear your stories, and tell me if I should continue with story times, because wow guys, if I reflect on the things I've been through in these relationship streets, I need a sip. Men be trifling out here, I tell you. Listen, guys, it's been awesome chatting to you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Remember to follow me on Instagram. It is Coach Knox, and Twitter as well as Facebook. You'll see all the details right here below this box, and we'll take it from there. Cheers, guys. Bye. And remember, my cake, my rules.